Hello and welcome everyone. In this chapter, we are going to see the demo for VTP. So let's get started. So first of all, I will take the switches here. 62960 series of switch. Let's say switch 1 and switch 2, switch 3. I will take switch 4 as well. Okay. And I will connect all the switches together. So far, I will take the default cable, switch 1 to switch 2, and this connectivity, and also from here to here. Say this, the connectivity is done. Of course, yes, we need to go ahead and connect the end user, I mean the PCs as well. But I will just go ahead and show you the demo for VTP. PCs you can go ahead and try by yourself. Okay, say this. So what to do now? First of all, we have to go ahead and enable the trunk between the switches. That's very important. Trunk between the switches. Trunk between the switches. That's very important. Now, so far I will make use of the dynamic trunking protocol. I mean DTP protocol itself to negotiate the trunk here. If you remember, the default mode for the Cisco switch port right now in this particular series, if you remember, it is dynamic auto. It is dynamic auto. To verify, you can see here. So interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1 and switch port. See this, dynamic auto, correct? Means all the switch ports are there in dynamic auto itself. Okay, what to do now? In simple term, I will go ahead and change this to dynamic desirable. Both the ports like fast Ethernet 0 by 1 and 0 by 2, dynamic desirable. Dynamic desirable, dynamic desirable. It will form trunk with this, it will form trunk with this as well. I will go to this as well and configure this dynamic desirable. Dynamic desirable, dynamic desirable, it will form the trunk. Dynamic desirable and dynamic auto, it will form the trunk. Okay. So it's a simple way to configure the trunk here right now. So I'll go to this switch 2 and I will take the range command and configure the mode here. So which are the ports if you remember? So it's all about interface range fast Ethernet 0 by 1 to 2 actually. Yes, 0 by 1 to 2. Yes, it is 0 by 1 to 2. And then switch port mode dynamic desirable, right? Switch port mode dynamic desirable. That's it. Exit, exit. Same thing I need to configure in switch 3 as well. Port number 1 and port number 2. Both are same here. Okay, let's do that. So I'll say here enable and interface range fast Ethernet 0 by 1 to 2 and switch port mode dynamic desirable. Done. So now it should be formed as a trunk definitely. If you want to verify, show interface trunk. Yes, both the links are working as a trunk link. In this switch also I can verify, show interface trunk, it is working as a trunk, of course. Yes. So of course all the ports are working as a trunk now. We can go ahead and make use of VTP services here. So let me delete this since it is not needed now. So I'll delete this and this as well. That's it. Now I'll go to the VTP configuration, and first of all I will make use of the VTP configuration where I will be using the domain name and I'll be using passwords. So domain name I will keep as, let's say, Cisco as a domain name, and password I will be using as a, let's say, Cisco only. Okay, domain name and password both are Cisco. And here I will keep the VTP mode as server. This I will keep as a client. I'll keep as a transparent, and again here as a client, just to see whether synchronization is happening from server to this client or not. Okay, that's why I'm keeping the transparent here. So let's do the needful. First of all, I'll go to this and configure. How to do the configuration? It's very simple. So far I'll say this VTP mode is client, yes, and VTP domain is, let's say, Cisco, and VTP password is Cisco. Done. Exit, exit. That's it. I'll go to this switch and configure. Here I'll say VTP mode is transparent and VTP domain is Cisco and VTP password is Cisco only. Fine. Configured. That's it. It is, yes, it is transparent. Now coming to this switch 2, it is client. Again, I need to configure the same command. So VTP domain, VTP mode is client, let's say, and VTP domain is, let's say, Cisco, and VTP password is Cisco. Like this. Done. That's it. I'll go to switch 1 and do the further configurations. So in switch 1, again, I need to go ahead and configure VTP mode is server, which is by default server. See that already server. I'll configure VTP domain as Cisco, VTP password as Cisco. Done. We have configured. Fine. So VTP domain name and VTP password, this is configured in all, and the modes also has been configured here. If you see here, this is my server, this is my client, this is transparent, and again client. So if I go ahead and create some VLAN here, of course it will get replicated to other switches. So make sure if I go ahead and create the VLAN in this, it will be replicated with the client and this client. It will pass the information from here to here, but that VLAN will not be present here. Like if I create VLAN 10, VLAN 10 will be there, 10 will be there. If I create VLAN 20, VLAN 20 will be there, VLAN 20 will be there. Here I can go ahead and create the VLANs local. For example, I can create VLAN 100, VLAN 2000, VLAN 10 also, VLAN 20 also. It's very much possible. So it will never synchronize with anyone. That's the major point. So let's move ahead and do the verifications of the same as well. Say this. I'll click on this and configure the VLAN. So far, I'll say VLAN 10 and name as, let's say, sales. Done. I have created VLAN 10 and name as sales. Show VLAN brief. See this? In this, I can see the VLAN 10. Correct? If you see here in switch 2 also, if I verify show VLAN brief, definitely you will find that VLAN 10 present here. Yes, it is there. If I verify this in this particular switch 4 also, here also you will get the VLANs. Show VLAN brief. See this? VLAN 10 is present. If I verify the same into this transparent switch, of course, in this switch, it is not available. See this? No VLAN 10 is present here. Correct? Similarly, if I create, let's say VLAN 20, name as, let's say, HR, VLAN 30, name as, let's say, Cisco. If I create VLAN 40, exit. I am not giving the name here. So name is not mandatory field actually. The VLAN ID is important. Show VLAN brief. Can you see that all the VLANs are present here? And here for VLAN 40, the VLAN number has become the VLAN name here. This information will be present in switch 2. Of course, yes, 100% it is there. And even in switch 4 also it is present. Yes, say this. In switch 3 transparent one, here not present. Say this. Next point, can we go ahead and create the VLAN 2001? So answer is no, we cannot, because it is extended range, it is not possible. Do you go ahead and remove the VLAN? So yes, no VLAN 40, it is possible. We have done that. Show VLAN brief, 40 is not there. Correct. In client switch, Is it possible to create VLAN? No, it is not. In client switches, not. If I go to transparent switch, see here I am in transparent. I can create VLAN 100, name as let's say demo. I can create VLAN 2001, name as let's say extended. See this? And verify, show VLAN brief, it is there. Can you see that? It is present. So VLAN 100 is there and VLAN 2001 also available, correct? And this VLAN informations will be local to switch, in the sense never synchronize with others. You can verify here, show VLAN brief, that VLAN information is not present here as well. Okay, so this is how you can go ahead and verify the same thing. Apart from that, one more verification command is show VTP status. So VTP status is basically to verify the VTP detail like domain name and its version, like you can see the version which is showing here, okay, and the mode which is operating here. Fine, as client you can go ahead and verify here as well. So VTP status is the command, it is my server mode, of course, yes, and it is working with this. In transparent you can verify here, show VTP status, and it is transparent, of course, yes, and the domain is this. One more command, if you remember, show VTP passwords. So VTP password is basically to display the password. So like this you can go ahead and verify in any of the switches here. So VTP password is the command, see this, correct? So that's it for this particular lecture, guys. One more major point you need to remember is the VLAN information has passed here, but when it comes to port you need to assign individually. Okay, so in switch 1, switch 2 or any switches, the port you need to assign individual to every switches. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. Thank you, see you in the next lecture.